I've been tutoring, since my university days, so I just want to spread the love for, engineering subjects and physics. We like the quick exam notes series. The notes inside are very well written.
Okay, good afternoon. It's all about creating a positive impact on education and talking about happy students, we must have happy tutors. And we're right here live at Happy Tutors Learning Centre with the one and only Jack Wang.
Hello.
So hi Jack, can you tell us a little bit more about, the subjects you've been teaching, the students that you've been working with, and why are you even in this teaching profession?
I finished my engineering school and then I've gone into teaching physics. So I was really passionate in engineering and I wanted to learn everything about it. And I've been tutoring, since my university days. So I just want to spread the love for, engineering subjects and physics. And many people say that physics is hard, but I just want to show them that this method and understanding that they can use to score in physics very easily.
Yes, I completely, see where you're coming from. Okay, so Jack, in your professional opinion, how would you say students best absorb and retain knowledge?
Alright, for the retention of knowledge, it is most important for the students to process the knowledge. And we call it deep processing, if I'm not wrong, in learning theories. So for this retention, there are two parts to it. What we want the students to do is to process the knowledge, as in they need to understand how the knowledge is being used and applied. And they need to take it further by applying them into different questions so that they know and recognize the use of such information. And the next thing to do will be, we call it the spacing effect, where maybe every week or every other week, over a long time interval, we repeatedly use that information so that our brain will see it as important and please keep it for the long term.
Alright. Jack, when you're talking about spacing effect, does it have anything to do with outer space?
No, it's in the space of time.
A space of time indeed, right? Okay, so very deep words from our master educator right here. So in an increasingly complex educational landscape, we find that students are facing greater learning constraints. Would you say as an educator you face greater challenges delivering lessons to them?
Yes, definitely. Because the students now, they have more activities in school, so it takes away some of the time that they have to devote to their books and get a good score for that matter.
Yes.
So in this limited time scenario, we don't have the enough time for them to absorb all the material that we can give them. So we have to select the material that is enough for them to get a deep enough understanding and then reinforce it and add on to it through later iterations.
Indeed. So Jack, when you mention some of the commitments that they might have, would you be referring also to extracurricular activities?
That could be one of it. Some students it could be reasons from all places. It could be extra school activities, CCA, or it could be family or friends.
Absolutely.
Anything under the sun.
Yeah, and we all know that the lives of students these days are not like they were before.
Yes, it is very eventful.
Extremely eventful. So Jack, speaking about learning constraints that we've discussed earlier, has any of the Singapore Asia Publishers books helped your students to overcome their constraints, and if so, how have they assisted?
Yes, in our lessons we need very clear diagrams and concise writing, which is what most of the SAP books can offer. So we do reference the assessment books and the revision guides for our students so that we can clearly show the concepts for the students and let them get a clear picture.
Oh, perfect. That's very, very good to hear. So amongst the SAP book series, would you say that there's one that particularly stands out and jumps right out at you?
Yeah. I think we like the quick exam notes series. We have it over here.
Oh yeah, indeed we do. Okay,
Yeah. This series is pretty good for students who want to say get a quick refresh of the important points right before the exams. So it comes in like little bite-sized notes. Yeah, that things that they mostly have to memorize, which is the horror of most students nowadays.
Okay. Well, as Jack correctly points out, the book is like really, really handy. Might be even able to fit into the pocket. And of course, these are useful to whip out, just before the test or just before the exams. Would you say that the quality of the notes and the writing inside it, is it going to be of any benefit to the students?
Yes, the notes inside are very well written. They're very concise, and the keywords that they use are in line with the syllabus requirements. So these books have been recommended to my students many times.
Well, perfect. I'm so happy that your students actually love using them, as much as SAP has enjoyed producing them. So let's talk a little bit specifically about how these books have assisted in their learning journey. So I'll give you a couple of examples, like have they, apart from improving their grades, have they improved the students' attitude towards learning, their aptitude towards learning, or would you say that they are now less resistant to practice because of the size of the books that they have in front of them?
Yes, I think the function of these books, they matter as much as their tutors. So these two are the most important factors in the students' learning. So what we're trying to achieve is to simplify the material that's being presented. So the teacher is there only for the class. They can have these books with them, and if they need a quick explanation, they can just flip them and look it up. Yeah, so they can carry on the work even when the teacher is not with them. That's why we recommend it.
Okay, I agree, right? So, sometimes the material in the classroom and what they have in front of them is as important, if not more important, than the one who is delivering the lesson to them. So the material must really, really make sense and logic to the students. Okay, so I guess the million-dollar question here is, how long, have you been using SAP's books for your students?
I think the SAP books have been around for a long time. So even when I was a student, I was using these books as well. You have the learning through diagrams and the yearly 10-year series. Everybody needs them. Yeah, so they really help to drill in that required mastery for each subject. Yeah, for every student.
So you mentioned that you used it as a student. So would you have any particular advice for a student who is restless in class and who gets turned off by the very idea of practicing their assessments?
Yes, they need to pick up the right book, have the right notes in order to simplify. So it is the fear, because so much information is put there and built up. And if no one is there to break it down for them in like bite-sized bits, then they will be appalled and pushed away from learning. So we need to invite them back to learning and say that, hey, our material is here, it's easy to understand, and they will slowly come back to the classroom.
I cannot agree more. And ladies and gentlemen, I think we would like to add something else and bring something else to the table. And that is, we need star tutors just like Jack to make a difference in the lives and the progress of their students. So once again, we are coming to you live from Happy Tutors Learning Centre. And we'd like Jack to end off with a message for his students.
We are Happy Tutors Learning Centre. Not just the tutors are happy, our students are quite happy too, because we do a really good job for them.
So before we go, Jack, an important question. What is one important takeaway and advice you would have for your learners?
I think what we offer our students is we try to offer them the best learning experience that they can get from us. And this is from the training of our tutors, that they are very passionate and carefully chosen to match the student learning styles. And the structure of the classes is such that the group size is small, they have ample attention, they can ask questions and get their doubts clarified without the fear of being judged by your classmates. These are very important things that we offer in our learning environment. And our classrooms are very high-tech. We have touch screens here and there to make the lessons more interactive. Yeah.
So absolutely, Jack, I cannot agree more. So to customize your one and only learning journey and experience, head on down to Happy Tutors Learning Centre.